All right, what is going on, everybody? Live again. I feel like making all these live videos the way I do, but some of them get pretty good views, and editing them is just a huge time thing. And sometimes you'll spend hours and hours editing it, maybe not for me, a couple hours editing it, and then nobody even looks at it, and it'll pick up steam, and plenty of people will watch it. So I'm a little bit tempted just to make live videos, as long as I can get out what I want to say in a live video and still make it interesting. So trying to work on the tactics of that idea. So right now I am gonna go and kind of peek at a space to see what it looks like in person and all that I'm aware of. And I thought I'd just talk to you guys on the ride over there, maybe let you get a quick look at it. But and I apologize in advance for this phone mount. I can never get a good phone mount. I mean, I went out of my way and bought this mount that my phone is on. Is supposed to be able to hold like 20 pounds because it's got like 3 suction cups on it, like in a triangular shape. But yeah. So wanted to talk to you a little bit about what happened with the other locations that I've looked at or talked about. See, here we go with this fucking phone mount, right? Of course. Apologize. Every 10 seconds for this thing. Seems like it's on there strong and then it'll fall. I don't get it. But to glue one of these things to my windshield. So I had talked to a guy in Richmond before I ever even asked for help in that last video there, about a location. I went out there and looked at it once, and the guy showed it to me, and basically what it was is it had formerly been a convenience store back in the 50s, and then in the 60s through the 80s into the 90s. It had been a couple different car lots, but it was just like an office, and they parked the cars all around it, whatever. Then at some point during the big increase in gold prices a couple years ago, a company that bought gold, one of those we buy gold stores, popped in there, and they put in like all this bulletproof glass and everything. And they leased that for a while, and then they left and all that. Oh man. So there was a gold store in there. They had outfitted it to be secure for buying gold and carrying cash for gold and everything. They had left, and the owner of the property is a dealer in Richmond and has another car lot somewhere else in the city. And the guy was every bit of the sketchy used car dealer stereotype that you can imagine, I guess. But he was trying to make the property nice. He added a 3-bay shop in the back, which was really cool, tall enough for lifts, electricity set up for lifts, everything like that. It was a really nice little shop back there, and then there's the front part. But the shop was an addition, and then there was supposed to be an office and waiting area. See, here we go with this mount. This mount's gonna do this every 10 seconds, I guarantee it. There was supposed to be an office waiting area between the shop and the office part in the front, right? So that was probably about the size of my current office, so probably like 400 square feet, say, right? Not a ton of space, but good enough for a little waiting room office area, just like you would see at any Jiffy Lube or something like that. Where the new part of the building and the old part of the building met looked like complete garbage. Just being straight up honest, that part looked like complete garbage, and it was leaking water. There was like electrical conduit exposed. It was not up to any standard of any office that I would ever want to spend any time in. And originally, so the deal that we were going to come up with is it still needed some renovations completed, and it was excessive. The front part of the building had no flooring in it, It was just disgusting. It was terrible. The back part of the building was nice because it was all brand new. And he was supposed to complete the renovations and rent the entire property for $3,000 a month, which is not bad. But it's a triple net lease, and if you're familiar with triple net, that means you're responsible for everything, even repairing the building. It's not like renting an apartment. So to be into a triple net lease, I'm obviously not gonna go into a building that needs work on a triple net lease, especially for a pretty, average market rate. I'm not gonna go into it knowing I'm gonna have to put in a bunch of repairs at a market rate. So he was supposed to complete the renovations, but we wanted to be in there by February 1st, and just to get it up to snuff on the back part wouldn't have been so bad. Sorry about this mount, guys. Just to get it up to the proper condition in the back where the shop is wouldn't have been that bad. You would have had to repair the roof, and pretty much just put up some sheetrock, and it probably would have been good, and a little bit of flooring in the office, good to go. And then I wanted to give him time to do the front part properly, and then we would expand into it. So what I had offered to him was, because he had just the back part for lease, that's what he had listed at $2,000 a month, and it wasn't until after we met that we started talking about the front part for a total price of $3,000. Like I said, I know for a fact, what construction time takes. It takes time to do this stuff right, and there was no way he was going to have that entire building ready by February 1st. I don't care how much money he spent to do it. It was so far gone. It was like a complete gut job in that front office. And so I said to him, we want to just take the back, get up and running by February 1st, give you time to do the front right, and then we'll expand to the front. We'll put it in writing that when it's ready, we'll expand to it and increase the rent to do so. We want the front, but we don't want the front if it's not ready. Totally fair thing, I think, to request. And he said he was agreeable to that, but then all of a sudden he started changing up the deal. Like, started saying, well, I want $2,500 just to rent the back. And I said, well, you have it listed for $2,000. It was, well, okay, $2,000 then. And then I said, okay. I said, so if you can just go ahead and fix the water leak in that office area between the two, and go ahead and repair a couple other things. And then he started changing up the story there, saying, well, that wasn't ever gonna be an office, that was just gonna be storage. I said, no, that's not what we talked about, because the dealership and the repair side, my current business, are gonna be separate entities. I'm not gonna be sharing office space with the dealership. That's not the intention here. And that wasn't what me and him had talked about. So I said, that's not what we agreed to, man. Like, why are you changing this? He said, I'm not changing anything. I said, you're changing even the price. So you're not gonna fix the water leak, even if it was storage, you're not gonna fix the water leak? It was, well, it doesn't need to be fixed, it's just a storage area. I said, but it's part of the building. Like, how unprofessional is that? Like, you're gonna have me having people walk through there, employees, all that stuff, and you got water coming out of the roof over here. Like, that's not acceptable to me. And I said, especially not for like pretty standard market rate. I mean, it's not like we're getting like a huge deal on this thing. Jake, I do have a website. It is kylescarsva.com. I already have one. There's not a lot on the site. It's just basically contact information stuff. But it's something. So, I said, man, like, we're not coming to an agreement on this property, and I don't see you possibly having it ready. He was real quick to want the deposit on the property, and he was real quick to make a lot of promises, but I wasn't confident that he was going to be able to come good on his promises, and that's why I was trying to set myself up to be safe, and be able to operate from this business I'm paying to be in. And he just was not making me feel assured that he was going to have the building ready in any way. He's just basically giving me a lot of lip service. So Paul, a triple net lease is like you're leasing the building, but you're responsible for all repairs and taxes on the property, is essentially what it is. So like with an apartment, you know, the property owner is responsible for maintaining the property and everything. But with triple net, you're responsible for every single expense involved in it. And that's the way a lot of commercial stuff is. I mean, obviously, you know, nobody's going to want to rent to a repair shop that's going to go and destroy it or something like that. You know, they want people to respect the building, and that's how they ensure that, you know, so because if it's going to come out of your pocket. So yeah, so that deal ended up not coming together in any case. And that really sucked because it was actually a pretty good building, honestly. Like the layout of the building would have been great if it were in condition to be operating as a business. I swear to God, I should put a bad review on this freaking phone holder on Amazon. This is literally the worst. It's advertised to hold a DSLR camera. I've got a cell phone in it, and it can't stick for more than a couple minutes. So that's what happened with that, and ever since then I have just been absolutely fighting to find any place that'll function. There's so many different aspects to opening a dealership in Virginia, and the more you have to deal with it, the more you realize it, like even small differences as far as what county you're in. Like in Virginia, there's no consensus as to what they call the zoning areas in each county. So like in the county I'm in, like B3 zoning means one thing, and then there's like, you know, like industrial zoning, and like there's different codes for it. But then you'll go to another county, and each one of these counties is you know, each different county has different little like things to it. You know, there's like B3, and then that B3 in one county might be called C2 in another county, or another one will be called O1, and like, so you can't just like type in you know, because the counties in this state are small. Where I come from in Maine, there's only 16 counties in the whole state. Each county is like the size of Rhode Island or something, you know, they're crazy. So like it's pretty easy, you know you're going to be in a certain county. Here, you know, you drive for like a couple minutes and you'll drive through like 5 different counties pretty easily. And you know, if you want to look at any significant geographical area, you'll end up coming across like 5 or 6 different counties that you might want. Sorry about that. I was trying to take my phone out of this stupid holder that's just constantly falling off my windshield. I'm basically at the property I wanted to look at. So Weird Beard's office is like a shed. I don't know much about Weird Beard. I mean, I know he's not in the state of Virginia. The state of Virginia has a whole different set of rules and regulations as far as this stuff goes than pretty much anywhere else. So, but, I mean, that's totally fine probably in his state, but where I'm at in the state of Virginia, it's a whole other thing. Just the minimum requirements are that you have contiguous space to display 10 cars, you have a 250 square foot office, all that. And then on top of that, certain counties require certain zoning to do it, and then some counties require certain permits to do it, and then they might have to, they only issue permits on certain places in different parts of the county. And I'm about to tell you about the specifics of this county. So just go ahead and show you. This is the location. We'll go ahead and walk around it. So there's one small garage with a pretty small door on it, but the building itself is pretty good size, so I could probably put a bigger door on this building. This is another little area that's undercover. What I'm considering, if I end up getting this building, is going ahead and taking out this back part and extending it all the way to the end of that roof eave, and not like covering it, keeping the covering the same, but having it paved all the way back so I could line up two cars. One car will be outside and another one will be here. And the county rules would make me put a door on this to do any type of automotive repair. So essentially, I would have one good bay here, maybe put a lift in here or something, and then another bay in here that will be no lift for like bigger jobs. So we have 4 parking spaces here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think 10 spaces here in the front. And this is the office. I'm not meeting with anybody here. I was supposed to meet with somebody at 1, but I'll explain this in a second. So this has a pretty good sized building for the office part. Has a brand new parking lot, which is amazing. Has 3 more parking spots over here. A couple more doors. So let's see if I can walk around this building without getting in trouble. And hopefully I don't have bad cell phone reception. If I do, I apologize. There's a nice little deck area back here. And a couple sheds and buildings. So yeah, it's a pretty good little building here. Thanks, Jake. So yeah, this so we have 4 here. The 10 contiguous here. So we're at 14. We got another 4 there. So we'd have a total of 18, maybe 19 if you put one on the corner beside my truck here, just for parking for customers and for sale cars. Geez. So this is a pretty nice little property here. There's a big window on the side of that. So yeah, it's a pretty good place. It's on a major road. There's a middle school literally next door, so there's a bunch of parents going in and out. There's this actually pretty busy for a Friday during the day antique place next door that's got plenty of business coming in, and they're not any type of competition. So overall, it's a pretty nice place. The lease rate is really, really good. But I'm gonna go ahead and tell you exactly what our problem is here right as soon as I figure out this damn cell phone mount. Okay, it seems sturdy as hell, so if it falls again, I apologize. I basically was putting all my weight on it. Yeah, it's already falling. What the hell? Don't understand. I'm gonna Gorilla Glue this to my windshield in a minute. And then I'll regret it if I do. So essentially, the deal with this is this is in Hanover County, which is the county that I currently have my shop in. You saw how quickly, like, I started this live stream 18 and a half minutes ago, walked around the whole building and drove here from my shop. That's how close I am to it. So it's a pretty good spot. It's a pretty good price. I'm not going to disclose the price just yet. I don't know if I'll ever disclose the price, but it's cheaper than the one I was looking at in Richmond. The shop area isn't as good. I'll have to do a little bit of renovation over time, but it's as good as what I currently have. It's no worse than what I currently have. So that's cool. Has a ton of office space, honestly. Like, way more office space than we need. It has multiple entrances. So I'm almost tempted to sublet that one side out with the 4 parking spaces to somebody else, and save myself some money on that. That's a weird cop car. I'm almost tempted to sublet that out because there's just no way that we need that much office. I mean, that's 10 times the amount of office that we need. So it might be laid out to be done that way, honestly. Oh, what's this guy doing? That guy wasn't there a second ago. Oh, he pulled somebody over. So anyway, yeah, so that building is really just perfect for us. Here's the problem with it. In this county, you have to get what's called a special use permit to be an automotive dealer, which isn't that big of a deal. A lot of counties require that. It's like $200-300, whatever. Problem is, in Hanover County, it takes 5 to 6 months to do that. Now, I pretty much was supposed to look at this with the leasing agent, and I might still today at 1. But I decided to go out here without them just so I don't waste their time for something I might not be able to use. Because, I mean, I can't justify leasing that building for that much money. I mean, it's about... I don't pay much for my shop right now, honestly. It's a pretty sweet deal I've got. That is about 5 times the price that I pay for my current shop. And some of you know what I pay, so that gives you an idea. It's a little bit, little bit less than 5 times what my current shop costs me. So I can't lease it for 5 months and only be able to do what I'm already doing and not be able to put my dealership in there. So, I mean, I just can't. Like that's a lot more expense than what I currently have, and it's really not any better to fix cars in. Okay, this thing's about to fall off my windshield again, so I'll hold it. So yeah, I can't justify leasing it without having the special use permit already in place. So with that being said, that's pretty much the situation with that. I went ahead and I told them that that was my problem, and they were like, well, who did you talk to at the county? We're gonna straighten this out. We're gonna figure it out for you. I said, you're more than welcome to, but I'm pretty sure that the county wouldn't want to tell somebody that they can't open up a business here, you know, unless they really couldn't do it. I mean, counties, generally, they want as many businesses there as they possibly can get. So, yeah, I'm not saying that they definitely can't figure it out for me. I'm leaving them that opportunity because I do like that building a lot. And if they can talk to somebody at the county and get that whole thing expedited, I'd love that. And I'd love to take that building. They really want me in that building, which, hey, that's cool. I'd love that too. I love somebody that wants to have me, really values me as a customer if I lease from them. That's important too. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna see what they say about that. The other option I have, and I'm not gonna drive there right now, is far away, but not like excessively far, but probably like 45 minutes away from where I am now. It's a former like oil change place, one of those, like, they call it an express lube, but it, like, I don't know how to explain it because I haven't seen express lubes very many places, but it's like it's like one of those oil change places that has pits, and all they do is change oil and do brakes and stuff, which isn't ideal. I kind of despise working in a pit. I don't know why. I mean, this building's fairly new. Like, it was built in the last, I mean, less than 20 years ago. I know that. I don't know why anybody would build anything, you know, after the year 2000 and put a pit in instead of just putting lifts in, other than the fact that they just only did oil changes, I guess. But even then, like, you're just so limited. It's almost just as easy just to put it up on a lift and change the oil, and then you still can do a lot of other things. So I don't know why they do that. I hate that. I hate working in them. I don't want to change oil in a pit. But that's what it has. It has 3 pits, 3 bays. So I don't know what I would do about that. I guess I just have to live with it. And I could always put a lift in over a pit. The trouble with that is if you're doing like a transmission or something, and you're trying to roll a transmission jack around, but you've got a grate that you've got to run over a pit, that just really is terrible. So that's usually how those pits are. They have grates that sit inside in the bottom of them. So, yep. I don't know. Some people like them. I don't. So anyway, that's pretty much where I'm at with that. I got to wait for the price on the other one. Wait to hear back from the property owner on this one about the special use permit and go from there. Thank you guys for watching. Some of you guys have watched this whole thing. That's amazing. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe for more, and I will catch everyone